morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy, and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 9th of September. Now, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Firstly, I just want to say thank you, Catherine, for letting me know that song yesterday. It was Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls by TLC. If anyone wants to watch that film clip, it's very bizarre. It's very abstract. I couldn't even work out what the film clip was about, which pretty much sums up our lives at the moment. It's very bizarre. So I thought that was probably what the implication of that particular film clip was. It was very strange. And also, Angie, I know you get a lot of these songs. You said they were on your playlist. So I always mention the song just in case it means something to somebody out there, which sometimes it does. A lot of us connect to music out there. So that's why I get a lot of songs here. And of course, not to forget, the Queen has died. We have all pretty much heard about that. If you haven't and you're new here, you might not have heard it if you just tapped on today. So the Queen has died at, I think she was 96, wasn't she? Oh my goodness. So she'll be really missed. But unfortunately, we are looking at Charles taking over the throne, which is not great for all of us, you guys that watch my channel. I know that we all know that Charles is a huge part of the global reset agenda. He always has been. So it does tend to ring alarm bells for a lot of us. Maybe that was that little, we know what's coming, don't we? It was like yesterday when I talked about we get those little signs and messages. Well, we see it as a really big one. Charles getting on the throne. Oh my goodness. So I guess we'll just have to see how that evolves. It will be very interesting, won't it? So again, we've got, I always say it here, well, I did talk about London Bridge falling, and obviously that did sort of come to fruition, sadly. I never knew the true meaning of that, but you guys have been typing me that for a few weeks, so unfortunately it did mean that the Queen was failing, I guess. There's so much going on. Where to begin, I guess, is the question. So I might close my eyes, we'll get started, and just see what comes up. And always remember the great royal distractions. How good of a distraction is this Queen dying going to be for these elite global reset agenda rollout people? Because this can go on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it will, because we know it will. So they can do a lot of work in the background, as we know, with their rollout, because everyone's too distracted with the Queen. Oh, my goodness. We hate it when they get those opportunities, don't we, to keep rolling their reset out. But anyway, let's just close our eyes. We'll get started and we'll see what comes up. It's saying these people waking up, they're eliminating the jab wheel from their life. People are. They're moving away from the jab wheel. God, I was listening to something about Fauci this morning, and he's just backpedaling. He's just now saying, they're lies. They're virtually saying, that you can't use Moderna for under 18s, but you can use Pfizer for under 12. Like, it's just absolutely, how's the lies? As they use human beings for their trials and as their guinea pigs, as we know. So I'm definitely getting that these people are waking up. They're moving away from the jab wheel. And that's a good thing. I mean, we have found there's this little lull period at the moment. But I don't think it's over. I really don't. I think there's more to come. See, they're jab weary. These people are jab weary. No one likes getting needles at the best of time when you even have to get a needle, let alone being told you got to line up, every 4 weeks, they said in Australia, for the CV jab. No one wants to be going. I was sitting in the doctor's, this was probably 6 months ago, and they were trying to inject this little kid. I could hear them because it happened to be the clinic was right there next to where I was sitting. And the kid was screaming the place down. He was hysterical. He said, I don't want this. I don't want this. God, it's like the kid knew what was going on. And Oh yeah, and the midwife or not midwife, sorry, the sister was really horrible to him and said, "You just have to get this done and stop being ridiculous." Like she couldn't say stop being a child because he was a child, but you could just tell she was getting all angry with him, and the dad was all frustrated, and they were both getting angry. Like imagine the energy that brings to that situation. Like this is just one example. But it's like the kid knew he didn't want that in his body. Like it was just so strange. He's like, I don't want this in me and I don't want it. And it was so loud. It was just horrible. It made me feel really sick, actually, that people were doing that to their own children. Like, what even has gone on here? So that's what I'm getting. People are off the jab wheel. They've had enough because they've got too much other shit to think about now. If we think about it, God, they're going under, they're going broke. They're wondering how they're going to navigate their future moving forward. They're being hit again. I told you they were bulldozing and putting the dirt over people. Well, that's what's happening now. Sorry, my cat's jumping up on the window. She's very naughty. So this is what's happening. They're just piling too much stuff on people again. It's happening. They're trying to, it's almost like if you think of a big pile of dirt being pushed onto someone, it's like they're getting suffocated. People feel like they're getting suffocated again. And I don't mean about the jab because they've pushed away from that as well. They just feel like they're getting suffocated by life, really, which is, as we know, all the crap that's coming at them. I'll see where else we go with this. Hang on. I'm getting Spain, Portugal, France, uprisings. I'm getting that standing up energy. Won't be on mainstream media for sure. So if any of that pops up on our feeds, it's good if we share that kind of stuff. We really need to be sharing visuals now of people standing up. We need to plant those subliminal visual kind of seeds of people standing up because people get curious and they go, why are people fighting back? Why are they doing that? There was one, for example, that popped up on my feed this morning. It was like, they've no more eating meat, and it had the old red circle with the cross over a hamburger, and that was in the Netherlands and the Dutch, I think. They've really stopped a lot of the meat. We knew it was happening. Gosh, I'm sorry. These people are so tired. They're so tired. I just hope they can find that energy and strength to stand up, because that's the only worry over here. They're getting really tired of all of this. Gosh, we had the RBA guy, minister or whatever he is for the raw, I don't even know what it stands for, but it's our banking, that keep putting the interest rate, home loans and everything up. And he was saying how he couldn't control it and it had to happen because there's footage of him saying it wouldn't go up till 2024, which we know they lie, because I've been saying it here all year that it was going up quite a number of times, and it has. And now he's saying yes, but it has made a huge difference to the economy and I'm not going anywhere. He's even reassured everyone that he's not quitting his job and he's not going anywhere. Yeah, we know why, because you're rolling the reset out to perfection as if you're going to get sacked. So yes, we've got them just lying to people's faces now as their bank passes on their interest rate rises. Honestly, it's absolutely nuts, isn't it, what's going on? I'm sure you guys are going through the same things. Let me know what's going on where you guys are. I'll see where else we go today. Hang on. Yeah, and those people in those regions I was saying, like Spain, Portugal, France, they're really disturbed about all this now. I did talk about Macron and that being a little bit more mature in his delivery. But the thing is, when it starts to hit people's finances and they can feel that the government's trying to get control of their, i.e., maybe bank accounts, and get control of their money, this is what's starting to happen. I think it's in the UK. Someone was saying, I think it might have even been one of you guys commented on my channel about how they are using the trickery now of freezing people's money and not allowing them to access their money, and they're using that, we need it kept in the bank to help the economy. So there's all this trickery of the wording, you can't access all your money because we need it to keep the economy flowing, so we have to hold it in the banks, like as if. So like I keep saying to you guys, if you get an urge to pull it out at any point, maybe do that. I'm sure that was in the UK that somebody messaged me that. Let's see where else we go today. And it's showing me this image of all of us, and this is all you guys watching my channel. It's like we're all in this class, and we're all sitting in this giant class. And I guess you could say that living here on earth is probably a bit like, I talk about it being like the master class of learning, that we're all going through these soul experiences. But it's showing all of us, and we're like at the back of the room. All the goody two-shoes, I would call them, and the people complying to these stupid, ridiculous governments, they're all sitting up the front, and we're like, again, the naughty kids that sit up the back. It's showing me, like, you know how all the kids that want to talk and be naughty sit up the back of the classroom so the teacher can't spot them. Well, that's all of us. We're all sitting at the back of the classroom, but we've shut our books. We're not learning the crap that they're feeding us. And that's what I'm getting for us. We shut the school book a long time ago, and we're not even listening. We've put our pencils down, we've shut our books, and we're just sitting there. We've even crossed our arms. We talk about body language here. Well, here's a good one. We've even crossed our arms, so we're completely closed off to these government leaders and the things that they're dishing out. And that's also a way of protecting ourselves too. It's like, we're not going to let them in, because anyone who's in this kind of folded arms means you're not open to receiving the information, and that's us. We're sitting at our desk with our books closed, and that's the image that I'm getting, and we're up the back, so we're out of their sort of vision and their range. This is the global leaders that are trying to teach us and implement everything. Well, we're closed off to it. We shut the school book, put the pencil down, and folded our arms, and we're just waiting. We're waiting for the school bell so we can run out the door. I think we actually ran out a while ago. But it's showing me that we're just waiting for the school bell. And I think, to be honest, the school bell indicates that loud kind of bell. Like, you think about a bell. We talked about that actually a while ago, like the town crier ringing his bell years ago. And like, hear ye, hear ye. Like, I suppose they'll do that probably with the Queen, won't they? Someone will come out probably with a bell and make an announcement of the Queen passing. Well, that's what we're kind of getting. We're waiting for that school bell because we're needing a bell or something to wake these people up. It needs to be louder. So that's what I'm getting today. We're waiting for that school bell that's going to wake some of these people up. I mean, it's the noise, I guess you could say, but that's what we want. We're wanting them to wake up. They're very slow. I said the other day, they're like a little snail getting along. Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Hang on, let's see where else we go today. So we're not receptive at all, and we're still the naughty children sitting up the back of the classroom. Hang on, let's see where else we go. Hang on. Now they're showing me us pushing up our sleeves, and we're getting into it. So they're giving me this visual of us pushing up our sleeves like this, and we're like digging in the dirt. So we're getting our hands dirty. We're okay with getting our hands dirty, and I think that means around our like image. Like, we're okay if people vilify us, if people think we're conspiracy theorists, if people think we're stupid for not getting jabbed against the virus. We're okay with all of that, and that's what I mean about the pushing the sleeves up. We get into it, and we don't care what people think. Like, we don't care if we get a bit grubby and we're digging in the dirt. This is just an example, because we are different. I think if you're watching my channel, you know that you're different to other people, the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you perceive things. We are different, but we have an ability, and that's what the guides keep saying. We have this ability to share that knowledge with other people. And it's showing me that visual of us on the mountaintop and being able to see government that is coming towards these people, and we're trying to warn them. We know that they've thought we were completely mad and this could not be real. But as it's all rolling out, they're starting to realise this could be real. This is really happening. Not all, we know a lot are still stuck in it. But we did have the ability to share this knowledge with these people, and we're trying to the best of our ability without being persecuted again. That's why I always say just avoid the jab stuff. That mastocytosis was very, very major. So that's what we're still able to do. We're still able to share those visuals, have a conversation and plant that light seed planting just on the surface. We don't want to dig in too deep because then people back away and they will tune out, they won't listen. So you just want to plant the little seeds of doubt and confusion to these people so they start questioning things. I know you guys know what I'm saying. Let's see where else we go. Well, I am getting England's rising, but I think it's rising because the Queen died. I don't think it's rising as a fight back, because you got to remember that in England, see, the Queen in England was like family. She was like their nan and their relative. That's the emotional connection that the royals kind of, well, not all the royals, as we know, Meghan and Harry don't quite have that connection, but the Queen had that real nurturing motherly feel to her. Even her mother did. If you think about it, before her mother died, she was very similar, actually. And that's what I'm getting. People are rising up because it's like rising up out of respect, because sadly they don't know what's coming with Charles. Mind you, I don't think he's that popular over there. I don't think people are going to have the same respect for Charles as they did for the Queen. You know, and like we all know, he's a leader, another reset leader. He loves the reset idea and the global, you know, renewables and all that. We know what Charles is like. So I am getting an uprising, but it's an uprising just out of respect for the Queen. It's a different kind of uprising, which you would expect people to just come together en masse. So yes, you won't be getting fed much about the reset. Although you might hear a bit from that Liz Truss. I do think she's still gonna, you know, she will have her say about the Queen and everything, but I think she feels like she's got to still get this respect from the people. So I still feel like she's gonna keep making sure her role is being put out in people's faces. So I think you will see a bit, you'll still get quite a lot of Liz Truss, isn't it? And her agenda ideas. Well, we'll see what comes out, but I think you're going to start seeing her quite a bit. Despite the Queen dying, you're still going to get her in your face a lot, especially because she had that last encounter where she was sworn in. So there'll be a lot of interviews with her and how did the Queen seem, and this is going to happen. So you're going to get this, I feel like you're going to have this little bit of a transitional period where she's going to just sort of step into the media limelight for a little bit before Charles does. So it's like that womanly nurturing sort of thing for the people. It's kind of weird, isn't it? But I do feel that she's going to be in your faces a little bit now. Hang on, let's see what else we get. I'm getting that the elderly are really starting to suffer. I do believe, and a lot of you guys know out there, that this is a process of it's hard to say, isn't it? Because it's hard to even believe, but that reduction in the population is kind of, I know a lot of people call it other things, but I do feel like a lot of older people are really struggling now. And we know, as a lot of us know here, when you're getting jabbed that many times, like my mother, who's had like 5, your ailments seem to come to the surface. Like we know there's been a lot more people having blood clots, strokes, cancers, you know, ignited in people again, that have been through those kind of journeys. So there's a lot of that triggering of the ailments. So I do feel like there's a lot of old people who are sort of suffering in silence, I guess you could say. In general, this is globally. And I would say as well, it's probably not just the jab. I would say it's the overwhelm of everything. It's the fear, the anxiety they were fed. You think about it. I always talk about that that hypervigilant state, how it's not healthy to live in like a lot of anxiety and fear. It's a very toxic, it has a very toxic effect on your body. So that's what I'm kind of feeling for these people. And I also feel like a lot of them are kind of giving up on what's coming at them. And I honestly believe that it's too much. Like even my mother says, oh, I'm glad I'm not coming into the world now. I wouldn't understand it. So I feel like a lot of these older people who are kind of giving up, they're like just detached from everything. So it's like they just figure, oh, I haven't got long to go, so I don't have to worry about all that, app on my phone. I mean, you can understand that. God, I'm really hopeless myself. I have to get my daughter to do everything. I've got my new car and it's got this link app on your phone. Another app, yes, of course. But I've got to say it is convenient because you can start the car from inside the house and get the heaters on and all that. I know you guys in the cold climates could relate. We can get the seat warmers on and everything. So she's really good at it, my daughter, and she's got it all up and we've got all the things going on and everything. It's just crazy. But I'm clueless. So I can't even imagine, like a lot of these older people, it's just they can't even get their head around it. So I think that's what's kind of going on. They're sort of giving up. A lot of older people are giving up because it's too much to deal with. They don't want this. Can you blame them? I don't think anybody wants this, meaning the Great Reset agenda. So, yeah, sadly, a lot of them are moving on and transitioning their life now into the next realm, I guess, the spiritual realm. I'll just see if there's anything to close with today. I'm getting that someone's knocking at these people's door now. I keep saying government's knocking on everybody's door because they're still wanting everything to, go to plan. Still knocking on the compliers' doors and the people who are, the school children up the front who are doing all the right things. They're still trying to get them to respond. So this could be definitely around the pandemic, like the jab wheel, because they're still pushing it. We know that the Mpox total epic fail, hasn't it been? It really has. They've tried like 2-3 times and it's been an epic fail. But they're still knocking on these people's doors. Now, we know there's a lot that aren't answering. That's a definite. But they're still trying to... Well, they're actually, to be honest, as you would say, Chris, out there, I know, they're actually in people's homes now, aren't they? Because with Siri and Alexa and all your phones and all your gadgets, they're actually listening to you anyway. So in some weird way, they're actually in your home, which is kind of creepy, isn't it, really, if you think about it? But they're still trying to knock on these people's doors because they're wanting these people to come out and still... obey is probably the word, and do all the right things and be rewarded, and we know how it goes. So I'm still getting that the government's still knocking on their door. It doesn't mean they're all answering no. I keep saying that. Some are going along and some are not going to go along. They're turning their back on government by keeping their door shut, and that's a good thing. That's what we want to hear here. Isn't it? I still feel there is don't forget about the global walkouts, guys. The site is Reignite Australia Democracy. There is a global walkout that's being organised, and they're doing all different things to try and push back against government rather than just protesting. That's for all the freedom fighters and like anyone who's waking up now. This week it's been about using cash all week. So if you can use cash this week, that means that the credit cards aren't being used and they're not able to track and trace us and what we're spending. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up next week. I'll let you know on Monday what they're doing next. And I'll just see if there's anything to close with. Hang on a sec. 2 secs. I'm getting the Bee Gees. I always get a song. I know you guys love songs. The Bee Gees are great, aren't they? And it's saying, nobody takes too much of it no more. It's much higher the mountain and waiting to fly. I don't know. It's something like that. I can't think what it's called. Anyway, another song to look up, guys. You always have to have your homework here. You know that I leave you with a bit of homework to do for the day. So that's the Bee Gees. Yeah. we get some strange music on here, don't we? But sometimes we get as individuals, we get that, meaning from songs. So look, I'm going to say goodbye from Australia this morning. I'm off to the gym, trying to keep myself active and keep the mind distracted. It's actually raining here. It's actually pretty nice. Oh dear. Did you see that? Did anybody see, I think it was in China, there was a cloud seeding rocket nearly hit a couple of people that fell into the streets. Oh my God, that just proves what they're doing. They are cloud seeding. We know they are. Nearly hit people in the head. Oh, what is this world coming to, honestly? All right, well, I'm going to leave you with that today. Let's go check out that song. Don't forget about the Global Walkout. Go check that out, guys. We all can contribute to these things. And I will say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day, everybody. It's Friday morning here, and I'll say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like buttons, and leave me comments down below. Let me know what's happening. Oh, and God save the Queen. Bye, everybody.